You want me like on your face all the time, just showcasing that name. It's really humbling and feels great. What's up, man? Yeah, there you go, right? Like I honestly I love it, right? Like if you. Yeah, so for me, streaming actually came a little later. I started with content creation before YouTube even existed. It started very much of just wanting to create things in the Halo universe and showcasing glitches and things I found really cool. And then as YouTube emerged, that became a thing. And then obviously streaming became much more prevalent and almost I would say more prevalent lately in the gaming space than YouTube. And so that for me, it was kind of a natural transition to start playing with that type of tech. So, I mean, the legitimacy of it, it's pretty funny. I even had people back in high school. I don't think I had one friend who was like, oh, this is going to be a big deal. You're doing really cool things. It's like, you're kind of, you're wasting your time doing what you're doing. So certainly seeing the transition and the general acceptance of not only gaming, but the fact that people can make a career and that hobby is so much more than a hobby has been pretty cool to see. Yeah, so I mean, certainly it wasn't an overnight thing. That's something that I put a lot of time and work into, and it was very gradual. There are these moments where you start seeing more and more views and more comments, and that pushes you to keep going. And obviously, there's that initial transition. It's increasingly competitive, which is certainly the negative side of all of this. Is that people are out there now. They start from nothing and say, I want to make a living out of this, and it's not the most realistic dream anymore. It's very difficult. It's increasingly difficult, and so obviously having a loyal fan base to me I wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah. So back in my day, there was, if you had a capture card at all, people would watch your content. Like even in whether it's the hundreds of views or whatever, you would watch it because only so many people had that capability. Now it's so easy to create content. It's even easier to stream. You can press a button on your consoles, on your platforms. It's built into Windows now. It's so simple to do it. There's a lot of tutorials out there. There's people who want to help you along the way. So obviously that means there's a lot of more people who are doing it. And if you're competing and wanting to get those eyes, right? There's only so many people out there watching that content, and a big stream will go live, and you'll lose those viewership to that, right? So finding that niche of what makes you unique is really the only way to succeed. You have a lot of copycats out there who want to be just like someone else, and that might not be realistic because that person already exists and they already have those eyes. So to get your own, you got to bring something new to the table. I think at least I hope is the experience and the knowledge and the fact that I have been around so long, that I offer a bit of a different insight into the whole industry, and that I balance the line. I toe the line between industry and influencer, and I think that's I hope at least, maybe we gotta ask my fans what they think, but that's, to me, that the information I present, even when I'm streaming, just casually chatting about stuff, that comes from a place of true knowledge and not just hypothetically about something. I'm talking about, oh no, here's how this works in game design and the business elements of it. Like I'll bring a lot of discussion of that, and I think I like to think at least that my fans appreciate that. Sure. So I mean, obviously, having done this for well over a decade, I kind of always remember those first times that somebody wanted my autograph or wanted to take a photo with me, and it got. You have to get used to it, without question. Same with interviews, you have to get used to them. I still have, it's actually up on YouTube, first time I was ever interviewed, and how awkward I was, and kind of just said, yep, to every question, and like, that wasn't interesting, right? And so, it's something that you learn to get used to, but it's, I will always treasure it whenever somebody wants to take a photo with me, wants to have something signed. I still, every now and then, there is something that I'm like, are you sure you want me to sign this? Because this is like people want me to sign their armor that they're wearing, and it's what they walk around in, and just like, you want me like on your face all the time, just showcasing that name. It's really humbling and feels great. What's up, man? Yeah, there you go, right? Like honestly I love it, right? Like if you, it'd be a lot harder to not appreciate that in the position I'm in, because it kind of comes with the territory, right? But I appreciate every fan, especially the ones that reach out and want to have my autograph and stuff. It's pretty cool. So for me, it was actually I grew up on PC, and then I did N64, played games like Perfect Dark. I love my first-person shooters, grew up on Doom and Duke Nukem, so FPS was already there for me, Half-Life, and then I got my first Xbox, the original Xbox, and the first game I got with it was Halo. And playing it, everyone has that same story of you first step on Halo and you're like, this is new. This is going to change gaming. I'm super immersed. I love it. The story was incredible. The multiplayer was incredible. Getting your friends together and just like having even the controls, everything about it, like every step of the way along Halo, it just revolutionized gaming over and over and over again. So while it initially hooked me, it just kept re-innovating and keeping me interested the whole time. So naturally creating content along with it was the way to go.